Hello and welcome to our podcast, Connecting and Supporting Others. I am Mira Reis and I am delighted to have you here with us. Enjoy. I am really honored today because we have a very special guest here. He is now like inspirational speaker, mental health coach, but what I do love about him, he is known like big man with a big heart. Yes, we have here Nick. Welcome, Nick. I'm very happy to have you here.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm delighted to be here as well. And it's a beautiful sunny day as well. What could be better than talking to you on a sunny day?
Okay, thank you. Before we start, I would like to congratulate you because I saw on LinkedIn you have a new client, O2. So great job.
Yes.
So congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's one of those really. I work with some of the world's leading brands, but I always celebrate the wins. I think it's really important to keep celebrating the wins all the time. I think is when you start to take life for granted that it doesn't get as fun anymore, does it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, okay. Maybe before we start with our 3 common questions, could you be so kind and share your story with us? What brought you to the stage where you are just now?
Yeah, sure. So thank you. So I guess kind of what I do now is it's not always been that way. So I'm an inspirational speaker on the lived experience of mental health. So I'm not solution focused in the truest sense of, whereas, for example, amazing people like you are, you can help people and you can be there to support people. Actually, for me, my place in the food chain is around sharing my experiences of mental illness and mental health and kind of empowering people to be able to reach out to you and to other people for help and support when they need it. So I'm not there to fix anybody in that sense, which makes it quite a rare offering, I guess. I kind of attribute a lot of my kind of success to that, I think. But also it's because of that approach and because it's not always been that way for me. I think there's some power in that as well. I think there's that adversity to excitement kind of thing really works well. So my adversity was, and still is, can be sometimes mental illness. So in the shape of obsessive compulsive disorder or OCD. Now, that then morphed into my kind of teen and adult life into something called generalized anxiety disorder. Where you constantly run at a heightened state of anxiety and nervous energy. But as you know, here's a thing, you can be very successful, driven by high anxiety, but you can only run for so long until you stop. And that's kind of the problem, really. So for the largest part of my life, for over a decade, I was running at a consistent state of burnout in my corporate kind of role. And then in 2012, I had a breakdown. And that was really the turning point for me. Speaking was my way back, I guess, being able to share my story and most importantly, kind of give people permission for them to think about their own stuff, because we don't, do we? Well, we kind of, we're so caught up in the firefighting of life that we don't think about our own stuff. And I found it was a really powerful way. For me, I didn't want to be solution focused. For me, the gap was the engagement, getting people to the door of people that can help people. Because a lot of the time we don't look after ourselves first and foremost. We'll look after everybody else and everything else. And we'll just let ourselves kind of slide, I guess. So that's kind of what I do. Most of my week is spent as a professional speaker. The rest of it is spent as a transformational speaking coach. So I help people to tell their stories so that they can start to kind of see that these challenges and these adversities, and boy, over the past 18 months have we experienced those, actually that can forge something better, something stronger, if we only use that energy in the right way. And as you know, it takes the same energy to destroy us as it does to act as a catalyst to go forward. And that's kind of where I'm coming from in everything that I do.
Oh, great. I do feel, a lot of powerful stuff which you just said, because first, I do believe, that everybody, we already have this solution inside, but we need kind of other lenses to look. And actually, I don't feel like that I'm an expert to telling you, do this, this. I am, I love to encourage people, to change their lenses, point of view, and realize, yes, I have this answer inside me, because I think nobody else can help us, only we. We are the best solution for ourselves, but as well, we need somebody to support us, or maybe help us to open our eyes and stop to be victim and realize that we are a creator of our life. This is great. I love what they are doing. And other stuff. Sorry. Let's go.
So no, I was going to say, you're absolutely right. There's something that I say very often is we have all the answers we'll ever need. We just don't ask ourselves the right questions. And if we do ask ourselves the right questions, we will stand in our own way, because we're conditioned to think it. I see this a lot, not exclusively, but I see this a lot in men about reaching out for help around mental illness, mental health and stuff. And because actually we've been conditioned to think that to ask for help is weakness. So therefore we don't, it's just not an option. And that takes time. And I think it's the same as everything. It's in terms of culture or gender or sexuality or race, lots of different things. It kind of conditions us. It affects our sense of belonging. So you're right, we do have all the answers, but sometimes you just need to hear somebody raise it to actually think, I get it. I get that now.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, have you said, this mental health is sometimes like shame, we don't, I try to kind of talk to some people, say, oh no, I'm okay, I don't need any help, I'm fine, I'm perfectly fine. But you can see, that they're really suffering, and they don't want to talk about this. And have you said again that we prefer to help others, how to, but actually first we need to be okay, and then we can help others. It's impossible when we are low with our energy, then we can't share our energy with somebody else. So I'm very, very happy I had this opportunity to talking to you, because it's great.
I think we're certainly kind of like-minded souls. I think that there's also that element of that if we do help others, that very often we can have that burden of trying to fix everybody, when most of the time as non-medical professionals, such as myself and my audiences, non-medical professionals, non-practitioner, non-professional, that actually we cannot or should not try to fix everybody, but we can listen and we can have conversations and we can signpost to the help that they need. But most people don't. They take on, it's like a human flaw, I guess, that we feel the need to fix anybody that comes to us with a problem. Like, come here, I'll sort it out, it's all good. But then we take that burden on ourselves and we'll take it into our lives, and it becomes this kind of really, really kind of depressing game of pass the parcel, I guess.
Yeah. Definitely. Actually, this is one thing what I would like to support other coaches and consultants, because they need to kind of, to clean their energy and to have opportunity, to talk. Because honestly, I was talking online with some girls, they were coaches, and they were crying. And they said, oh, I need to finish in 5 minutes. I have a client. I said, what? Don't worry, I can switch like this. I said, okay. But this is what is really that sometimes we don't realize we are taking too much on ourselves, and all this, let's say, not very clean energy is staying with us. We are too much empathetic with others. It's great to be, we need to be, to help others, but as well, we need to know how to boost our energy. What we were talking this morning on LinkedIn, that we need to find the best way how to keep our energy in balance, and how to bring more strength and clean thought in our mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the thing. It is trying to support other people whilst protecting ourselves. I mean, even as a speaker, sharing my own personal story, there's a really fine line between your story owning you or you owning your story. And very often, especially to start with, I was delivering from my heart. I was not delivering through my heart. And it would just make me so exhausted, but just constantly kind of pouring out and sharing and helping. And it was only when I learned actually I can be that kind of conduit. I can deliver from me or through me as opposed to from me. And that was a big, big difference, because actually then my energy was protected.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And this is very important to learn, how to work with other energy. And this is one of my tools which I have, because energy is, I think, we are actually energy. Everything is energy around us.
Absolutely.
And when we know how to work with it, and when we know more about ourselves and others, it's very, our life can be more happier. We have more freedom. We totally change everything. So I think it's really, really important. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so maybe we can start with our first question.
Okay.
Yep. So you actually maybe half answered it, but my first question usually is, what is your mission? What is your true calling?
I think the saddest thing that I see in life and in business is that there's a lot of people waiting for permission to start whatever that thing is. And I kind of see my mission as showing people that actually you don't have to be perfect to start. You don't have to wait for permission or for perfect moment kind of thing. We can start right now, and we're going to mess up, and we're going to get knocked off our feet, and we're going to have to pick ourselves back up again. And so I think for me, the mission is certainly that. I think it's redefining what mental health is. I think mental health as a term has got a really bad rap because it has a lot of negative connotations, where actually it's just a neutral state. Like physical health, mental health is just what it is. I mean, people will say to me, Nick, I have mental health. Yeah, absolutely you do. 100% of us have mental health. Whether it's good or bad, that's a whole different thing. So for me, that's kind of my mission, is to give people that permission, first of all, to think about their stuff, but then to actually to take some action, take some positive action, even if it's in between periods of professional help, as especially in the UK, I can't speak globally, but especially in the UK, periods between waiting for help professionally can be really quite long sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. And have you said before that we are energetic system, and we are all together. We are body, mind, spirit, energy, like emotion and so on. But sometimes we've forgotten this. And we said, okay, I need to carry about my body only or about my mindset, but we are all together, and this needs to be balanced. It's very important. And actually our thoughts, our emotions are just manifesting what is inside us and trying to show us, oh yes, go this way or do this. So I love your mission. Yeah,
absolutely. I think with as you alluded to just now, the LinkedIn post I put out this morning was about kind of my daily routine of getting up nice and early, going out for a nice long walk. I try to walk about 10 miles a day. But that's not just a physical health thing. It's not just a mental health thing. It's everything that the senses, the smells of the trees and the cut grass and everything else. And that kind of feeds your soul, that feeds your emotions. The physical health certainly is a really good pickup by actually the movement of walking. And mentally, of course, it gives you clarity because you're getting that fresh air before the start of the day. So, as you say, it's all together. You can't focus on one without the others being affected, and vice versa.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, from my point of view, I see, like, let's say, physical troubles, physical illness, just like a last sign for us. Oh, stop, your mental health is saying you didn't listen, your tiny voice inside. So now you have illness on your physical body. It's like, let's say gross kind of vibration of energy. And when we were talking about this walking in the nature, I really love it because actually my approach is through the, let's say, elements. It's like different vibrations of energy, and which are everywhere. And when we are walking outside, we can kind of balance this subtle energy inside us. When we are touching grass or we just see it, we smell it, all our energy is more in harmony. It's the best way for me, at least, I think for many people, how to bring balance in our energy and breathe in and out all, what is around us, and bring balance not only in ours, but everywhere around us. Yeah.
Absolutely. Big high five to that. I love that.
Yeah. Okay. So, and now imagine that you have a superpower. you have like time machine, and you can travel back in the time. And you have great opportunity to meet your younger version, younger Nick. What you will tell him? What advice?
Great question. I think for me, it's just a case of saying, like, whatever you're experiencing, like, this will pass. And I think that's kind of what, especially when you have high anxiety and certainly obsessive compulsive disorder, it's very easy to feel very catastrophic in the moment. You don't feel that this is ever going to end. In fact, the line that I always use at the end of my keynote talks is actually the name of the country music song. I love country music, but is every storm runs out of rain. And I think it's that, basically, that's what I would say, is that sometimes when we're in those storms, we don't see the bigger picture. And I think lockdown and the pandemic is certainly one of those. There have been some horrendous and horrific experiences throughout this. And knowing that we can only play the hand that life deals us, we cannot turn back time, that actually all we can do is to learn and evolve and use what those lessons to become stronger as we go through. But knowing that wherever you are in life, it doesn't have to define you for the rest of your days. If it wasn't for my worst times, I would not be doing what I'm doing now. And it's as simple as that. And actually, that kind of makes sense then. I quite like that. It's a karma thing going on. So yeah, that's what I would say. Go easy. Take it easy, son.
Absolutely, yes. This is one of my take it easy. It's just, it's just a dream, actually. And actually, in this, what you said it's again about these elements. I love this approach that everything is start. Let's say like season, like this is like a wood element, spring. Everything is growing. Then we have fire element, summer, everything is ripening, it's hot. And then we have like Indian summer, when it's like earth element, everything is calming down. Then is a metal element, which is like autumn. We are like harvesting and saying, oh, this I keep, this I don't need. And then is water element, which is winter. We are a little bit finishing, calming down, and then again, it's like circle, and everything has started, and it's like end, like death. Everything has this, but we have trouble to to think about this impermanence, that everything is just we are clinging in the moment, and it is bad, and we think this is forever. And this is very important, I think, to go with this flow of energy and realize it's just a play of energy. Enjoy it. Don't be afraid. Everything has a reason. Yeah. So, it's great.
Yeah, I get that. And it's interesting, that kind of perspective around the elements and the seasons. That I was having this conversation with my wife at the weekend, actually, that I was saying, actually, my favorite time of the year is that kind of autumn going into winter, which, yeah, okay, it's colder and it's a little bit wet, and it's going to, but I like that, because actually I like the kind of the crispness of the kind of the season, I guess, in that sense. And you see the change going on, and I quite like kind of cozying up as well when it's cold. So it's quite nice kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm a big lad as well. I'm 6'4" and 20 odd stone. So the heat is not great for me. I'll give there is that element as well. So
yeah, and actually, the autumn is a metal element, which is like, that it has two, yang and yin. Each of these elements has this polarity. Yang is like symbol is like ox, you can cut. And these people, and I think maybe you have this element, I'm just guessing, inside of you, that I think that when you are in situation and you can see that this is not, you can say maybe one or two sentences very quick. Yeah. And the people are crystal clear what you are telling. And other, like yin is gentle, like female energy, because we have all these energies, of course. This is like rings or earrings, like very nice jewelry. And this is like they like to shine. They like to help other to be shine on the way toward the goals. And it's very important, like, to be in surrounding with this kind of order, that is like everything is nicely, where it is supposed to be. It's just about autumn, each this element, and they are not clean, but they are all mixed together. So maybe it could.
Yeah, maybe. Or I'm just a bear basically at heart, and I just need to hibernate. So
maybe later on, if you would like, I can do this calculation for you, because according to Chinese astrology, we can find your predominant element, and it is good for, let's say, for your diet as well and everything,
that'd be really interesting.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We can do it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so, and now last question is,
yes,
imagine you have our superpower. It's a lovely sunny day like today, and you can make a rain. You are a rainmaker. So, and because it's sunshine, it's a huge rainbow in the sky. And everybody who is ready to receive your message, just looking on this lovely rainbow and energy which you put there with your advice is there. What message you will put and people can receive from this rainbow?
Oh, it's a beautiful question. I thought, of all the interviews I've done, I thought I've been asked everything, but now I haven't. This is a new one for me. I'm a very tactile person. I love hugging, for example. So if I could actually put that kind of feeling of a big hug in a rainbow for everybody to have, I'll take that completely. Absolutely. It'd be a hug. That's exactly what I would do.
Great. And actually, when you hug, I just imagine this rainbow like, hugging everybody, and all your lovely energy is actually, people who are open can exchange with you, because, the rainbow is like our energy, everything like frequency. And in this answer, you actually said everything, that everything what you achieve in your life, what you believe in this hug, without, because honestly, these words, we can say, but when we really are open and we are giving with open heart, we give everything. So how I said, who is ready can receive all your wisdom or your knowledge, which you support others. You have the same knowledge how I have, but you didn't have maybe opportunity to open it. So you will help these people. It's great, because I honestly, I never had answer like this. You are actually now only my 20, guys here, but great. I really love it, because you said everything what you have, you are going to share.
Yeah, absolutely. That's me.
Yeah. So this is the big man with a big heart. Yeah.
That's
and actually,
the one.
I still have this picture in my life, in my mind. The lovely rainbow is hugging everybody.
Yeah. It's really cool. I like that, actually. I'll put it into a logo or something.
I was thinking, just really, it could be, and then maybe your head somewhere. Okay, so would you like, to add something on the end, because I am enjoying really our talk. So if you would like to put something more, I will be very happy.
I think the thing I like to leave kind of the audience with is something that's been really powerful for me in terms of looking at anxiety and things. So, and it's something I actually learned, the wisdom of youth. I've learned from school children. I do a lot of work with schools and different organizations and stuff, as well as business stuff. And a young lady said to me, what really makes her anxious is when she sends a message to her friend and her friend doesn't message her back. Now, that may seem like a really basic example, but we can apply that to our lives personally and professionally. That actually, that's not what makes her anxious. That's a transaction. What's making her anxious is the story that she's telling herself around that. She's been judged or dismissed or not loved or fallen out, I've offended them. And actually, by the end of that session, she had her back from her friend, but that's by the by. I think we all need to do that. I think we need to think about that thing that we're anxious about right now. Think about that thing that we're really stressed about and ask ourselves, is it fact or is it the story that we're telling ourselves? And very often it's the story that we're telling ourselves, and we can change that. If it's fact, we can reach out for help. We can speak to that person, confront that situation. But very often it's that kind of, we're hardwired to look for danger and hardwired to look for fear. So we need to start to talk ourselves into a winning game, because by default, we'll talk ourselves into a losing game. And for me, that's been a really big game changer.
Yeah, it's actually very important, regarding these stories. I think actually maybe 99% is our life, maybe 100 is that we are creating stories again and again. And which story we start to believe, we go like this. One of my teacher, he used to have very nice example. He said, image big box you are sitting in, and there are only two small, openings, and you are watching through this. But when you take this box off, there is everything. You can reach everything.
I like that. That's really good. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is actually true. And, and then when we put more energy and we believe, this, it's actually happening, because I see our life, I like our manifestation of our energy. What we believe in, it's everything, just people are just mirroring us. That when I have some trouble and I'm starting to meet the same people with the same trouble, or they are just giving me, like examination. Oh, do you really think this? So, and when we realize this, it could be really fun to live our life, because it's really play of our energy, but we still are not able very often not to connect with this deep wisdom which we have inside. Because honestly, I do believe in real sense we are already perfect. We have everything what we need, all wisdoms. And we don't need to reach something else. We just need to calm down, go inside, and reconnect with this highest ourselves which we have. I know it's not so easy, especially now in this time when people are suffering, what's going on, and concentrating more outside than inside. But I think everybody has this power, this gift to come back and sit there and, okay, this is not so easy, but we can do it, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the thing that I meet a lot of people that are struggling with things like anxiety. And like you said, certainly the pandemic and lockdown and things have had an influence. But I think if we're not careful, that we start to build a future based on either our perceived failures of the past or our pain and frustration. And it is true that whatever you've said and whoever you've been and whatever you've done up until this point, right here, right now, has led to exactly where you are now. At any given moment in time, it's what you do next that counts. And that's the difference. And I think that's maybe the place that we are at, myself and you, where we see that. But it's kind of, again, going back to that mission, it's bringing people to that point that they recognize that whatever has gone before does not have to dictate where it goes in the future. And every day we have that choice of how we proactively go into the day. And as you say, it's a great example. We need to, again, we have all the answers we'll ever have.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. And actually, only this one important thing, when we realize that nobody else is responsible, only we are, and when we start to teach, little children, only this, you are loved, we loved you. You are actually loved, like you are manifesting love. And you, when you are big enough, you are responsible for your life. Of course, we will support you, but all your decision, it's up to you, and you will create your life. Because, I met several young people, especially in England, that, they were all like, oh, you are great, we will be with you there. And then, they were 20, 30 years old, and they realized, oh, my parents were saying, you are so great. But I'm not, I can't find good job, I this, I'm somewhere, and they're afraid to go out because they didn't learn how to be responsible. I'm not saying this is only in UK, it's everywhere. I don't like to judge, regarding that, because I had this experience here, but it's the same in my country, everywhere in the world. So this, I think when we learn this, it will be very important, it could be big change in our society, in everybody inside.
Absolutely. I think acceptance is key to everything. It's fully accepting, and like you said, and taking accountability for everything. And it does release you, as painful as that is sometimes. It does release you, and it's the most difficult thing to achieve. Once you find it, everything else is a walk in the park. So.
Yeah, definitely. I love, this is one of my most important messages I'm trying to share with others. We need to accept everything. It's easy to accept when I'm happy, everybody loves me, but it's
Yeah.
about nothing, I don't develop. But when it's something what we call negative, we don't like to accept. But actually, I don't like this negative, positive, because nothing is negative. It's just lesson in our life. Because
Yeah.
without these negativities, we will stay, we will be, we don't develop it at all. I don't know if you heard this short story about old Chinese man. He lived in the village and he was quite poor. He had a small field, one horse and son. And one day this horse disappeared. And whole village was, oh, you are so unlucky, your only horse. And old man said, lucky, unlucky, who knows? And within a week, horse came back and brought other wild horses with him. And the whole village, oh, you are so lucky, you are so lucky. And he said, lucky, unlucky. Next day, his son came to train, the horse to tame it. And he fell down and he broke his leg. And whole village, oh, you are so unlucky. And again, lucky, unlucky. Next week, the soldiers came and took all young men except his boy because his leg was, broken. So, and again, lucky, unlucky. This is our life. We never can say, what's going on. So when we accept it and we take it how is it, we can be in the flow with energy, universal energy, and it's great. It's actually very simple, very easy way, but not. It's easy to say, I know, but not easy sometimes to go through. Yeah.
I love that. I think that's an amazing story. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. I love that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I like to say it to everybody because sometimes you say that, oh, this is, but next day it's totally different. I try to explain my friends, when something happened to you and you are unlucky, wait, maybe next week you say, oh, I'm so happy this happened because, all time it is like this. Yeah.
So we either win or we learn.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, and actually we work in our life, my other teacher, I'm still saying about teacher, I'm following Dzogchen. It is in Tibetan language, like total perfection. And it is not only teaching, it's only like, let's say, about our true nature, that how I said before, we are already totally perfect. And my teacher used to say, we are walking like with two legs and accept, I want, I don't want, I want, I don't want. But when we are in the middle, we are actually behind this, we just accept it how it's going. And then we are what we really are. We are totally perfect. So this is kind of important. And I love your approach because, we have different, let's say, background. And I don't like to, to judge, to what is background, but it's important what we try to help, others with this.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, we're at the same place. I think this context. I think the context, but that's what you need is you need different people who have the same message, the same ethos, but the context is different. And that can even come down to gender. I think actually it has to be said. I think a lot of my success has been a man working in the well-being space because it's quite rare still, actually. Especially being a kind of a big guy as well, kind of traditional kind of alpha male kind of thing, I guess, originally. But yeah, so I think there's a lot to be said for that. I think it's context, and because we can both deliver the same message, but actually people that will really resonate with you, really resonate with me, but actually the message is the same.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, I establish, let's say, like online academy, like Facebook group, and I'm trying to put people together. It's called Academy of Holistic Freedom. And I try to, have the different people, because, how you said, we have different frequencies, and somebody wouldn't like my approach, but can like yours or somebody else. And this is kind of my aim, to establish group of people who would like to support others and let's say share their knowledge, their expertise. And my whole, like, somewhere on the end is to have like retreat center where people can come and spend some time in the middle of nature, and learn how to, how to letting go, how to be in the flow, and how to be mentally healthy. Yep. So
nice.
this
Love that. Pretty good. Well, big round of applause to you.
But this is just a dream. But I believe, if I believe in my dream, that I will meet the people who will do the same.
It's where it all starts. It starts up here, doesn't it?
Yeah. Okay. So do we have time, or you better for you to finish? How is your timing?
I will need to finish very shortly.
Okay,
sorry.
Great. Okay. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Although I could have spoken to you for hours, to be fair. This could go on for hours, genuinely.
Yeah, we could. So maybe, hopefully, when you find time, sometimes in your schedule, we can have other talk together.
I'd love to come back. That'd be really cool.
Okay.
And I'd love to invite you to come onto my podcast as well. So I'll be in touch.
Oh, great. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Okay, Nick, a lot of love and light to you. Thanks for everything what we are doing for everybody. Yeah. Have a lovely time. Bye.
You too. Thank you. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.